Hello, and welcome to the first HMP Weekly broadcast of 2019. I'm CJ Gillengerton.
And I'm Joey Gillengerton. Today we take a look at finals tips, winter break summaries, the local weather, and more. We'll be right back.
Finals and testing can prove to be a challenging and stressful time for students. Dalton Frank was able to talk to students and staff this week about finals and testing anxiety.
I'm here with Ms. Brunchweiler. Ms. Brunchweiler, is testing anxiety common among students?
I would say that testing anxiety is not as common as people think. It's really a smaller percentage of students that have the testing anxiety, but I think there's always a little bit of that nervousness before getting ready for a big test.
How do you deal with somebody with testing anxiety?
I think the biggest thing that research shows is the more prepared you are for a test, the better off you are. So reviewing notes, talking out the problems with people, talking with teachers, tutors, all of that sort of a piece really plays a big role in how prepared you are.
For a student that is worried about finals, what would you recommend they do to get more prepared?
I would say start studying earlier. It really helps you out if you're doing smaller pieces of studying ahead of time versus trying to cram in 18 weeks of knowledge and reviewing it the night before. So give yourself enough time and make a study group. Talk to different friends, talk to different teachers along the way, ask those questions and say, I know how to do this section, I'm good on this, but here are some clarifying questions I might need some help with.
We're here with student athlete Jaden Thalen. Jaden, how do you balance being a student athlete with the pressure of finals?
You just have to have a good mindset. When finals come along, you just got to focus on one thing at a time. And as far as studying goes, you just kind of have to balance it the correct way. So, yeah.
I'm here with Nolan Kelly, and he's a senior. Nolan, what are your thoughts about finals?
Well, obviously it's a nervous time in any high schooler's career. It's a lot of pressure, but I'm a senior, so it doesn't matter that much. I got good grades, so.
Nolan, how did you deal with all the good grades and get the good grades while finals were happening?
Well, honestly, I didn't study too much, but you can always cram in some information right before the test. I mean, if you pay attention during the rest of the semester, you should be all right.
Thank you, Nolan. I'm here with freshman Mackenzie Forgy. Being this your first finals run, how do you feel about taking them?
I'm pretty nervous, but I feel like having the week in advance to prepare will help me out a lot.
What are some of the things you're going to do to study for the finals?
Well, I'm just going to make sure I do a little bit every night so that I feel ready when the time comes.
Thank you. Hope those tips helped you, Hazlitt. Good luck on finals this week. Back to the Gillies in the studio.
Thanks, Dalton. Keep up the hard work, Viking. It's sure to pay off.
Next week, our finals, Hazlitt. Here's a rundown of the hours and times for your finals each day. The first day of finals is Wednesday. You will start the day with your 5th hour class and end with your 6th hour class. School will get out at 10:55. Thursday, you will be attending your 1st and 2nd hour, and school will be getting out at 10:55. Friday will be the last day for finals and the semester. You will have your 1st and 2nd hour, and it will finally be over at 10:55. In between each class period, there's a 10-minute break. Good luck with those finals, Hazlitt.
Starting this week, drop-in ads will be open for students to work on any schedule issues and other changes. We asked Ms. Sauter for a bit more information on how drop-in ads work.
Drop-in ads is a period of time when students can make changes to their second semester schedules. So they will come and get a form from the counseling office and fill out what change they'd like to make. Actually, they should have done that. And then they'll come and turn it in to us, and we'll open up their schedule, just like arena scheduling when they schedule in the spring for the next year, and they'll be able to make those changes if there's availability in the classes. For the most part, if there's space in the class and it still keeps you on track for graduation, you're okay to change it. Freshmen, they've never scheduled themselves. They were auto-scheduled last year, so they wouldn't know how to do arena scheduling. So if a freshman wants to make a class change, they will actually give their form to the counseling office, and Mrs. Brunchweiler and I will look at the schedule and work with them on it.
Remember, drops and ads close next week on Tuesday the 15th, so get your forms filled out and turned in as soon as possible if you want any changes to your schedule.
As the end of the semester nears, some Hazlitt students have to negotiate for their grade. We chatted with Mr. Caravalli and a couple of his students to learn more about his interesting grading method.
You know, basically, students put together a portfolio of their work. I mean, we have assignments and assessments and even quizzes like we would have in other classes. You know, over the course of a term, put together basically, you know, your work, and that would include, you know, doing the work the first time and oftentimes doing some revisions because we are an English class. At the end of the term, I do invite students to look at some criteria in terms of, you know, what kind of grade do you feel like your work in this class represents. I mean, that's not just like kind of whatever I think, it's actually related to some statements that I have as part of kind of a rubric that I have them look at, but I allow them to be involved in that process.
It just makes it more simple because you don't have like, you're not like worried about a whole grade and you're just kind of like doing each assignment like day by day, and then at the end like you kind of get to like argue like whether or not you deserve like a certain grade.
I feel like I like it because sometimes if you do bad on like a test or something, you can't really bounce back from it. It's pretty hard, but with him you can like argue for your grade and you can do retakes and do better on it and he'll give you that grade.
I mean, you don't really know what you're gonna get because like people have asked for A's and gotten C's. Like I asked for like a B and got an A, so like you just never really know what you're gonna get with it. It's unique.
There is a musician in the school. A creative student has been using computer programs and other equipment to make music from his home and uploading them to SoundCloud. Let's hear more about that.
Liam Clifford, also known as Lavender Haze, has found some success in his hobby of making music. Putting his songs on SoundCloud has proved to work, pulling in over 600 views on multiple songs off his debut mixtape, Paper Planes. We caught up with Liam to hear about what influences him, how he started, and an upcoming project.
Look, check my passport, soon we driving fast cars. Take 'em out the game just like I'm laying down a trump card. Yeah, you know we die hard, started in the backyard. Rewind and play it over with that last part. Party!
Back in like second grade, my mom got us a bunch of clean versions of all the Eminem CDs all the way up to Recovery, so we've just been listening to that stuff since a young age. So what influenced me to start up was my brother, because he's been doing it for a little bit now and he's pretty good. So he's not as good as flowing as I am, but he's a lot more lyrical, so we both kind of help each other out with the different aspects. My favorite song I made so far is one that me and my brother have been doing together called East Lansing Choppers, where we're kind of just putting all the politics aside and just chopping. I'm actually dropping a new album, Living Life Lavish, as soon as I get money for studio time, so that'll be pretty good.
Nintendo Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was released last month for Nintendo Switch, and the reception from the fanbase surrounding the game series has been astounding. Today we will show you H&P's review of this long-anticipated game and determine if the hype was really worth it.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the 5th installment of Nintendo's fighting franchise, Smash Bros. This game brings back every previous fighter from past entries, some brand new fighters, and some returning and new modes. Once all the characters are unlocked, you can choose between over 70 fighters. The main game mode in Smash Bros. Is to fight. Squad Strike allows players to play as a different character for each stock. Tourney mode allows local players to set up a tournament bracket so parties of people can play together. Special Smash has special modes, such as Super Sudden Death, where all fighters start at 300%, and Smashdown, where after a character is used, they cannot be used again. Aside from Smash, there is also games and more. Here, you can play various games like Classic Mode, where each character has their own unique set of battles, Mob Smash, where you can fight a horde of fighters, or Training Mode. Vault Mode contains sounds, where you can listen to characters' voices, music, or create a playlist. Tips lets you see extra information on many different topics. The shop under the Vault option lets you buy music and spirits, as well as some extra items for other parts of the game. Speaking of spirits, this mode lets you fight non-playable characters possessing copies of a playable character. Defeat one and you can attempt to obtain the spirit yourself. Spirits, however, can be equipped to a fighter to get something like an extra jump or immunity to poison. Spirits mode also contains the adventure mode of Smash Ultimate. This brings back memories of the Subspace Emissary from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and overall is better than that story mode. In World of Light, you start off with just Kirby. You then have to adventure the main board and rescue spirits and fighters alike to stop Galeem from consuming the world with light. Although there are not as much cutscenes or overworld battles against enemies like Subspace, this adventure still brings a lot of joy to the player. The final thing to talk about is online. Online you can spectate other matches or fight against other people online. You can find battles while you play modes like training, make or join a battle arena, which is mainly to play with friends, or join a regular battle online. Here you have preferred rules, but your preferences may not always appear on matches online. The online battling also has a ranking system that isn't the best and seems off most of the time. Overall, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate gets rated a 9 out of 10 from HMP, only down 1 due to the poor online service. However, that doesn't mean that this game is still amazing and definitely dedicated for the fans of not only Nintendo, but gaming as a whole.
You know, Joey, I really like that new Smash game. My personal favorite player is Snake.
My personal favorite's Link, because I always beat you with them.
Over break, many students stayed home while others were lucky enough to visit a new exciting place. We caught up with a few students and staff to see how their breaks went.
I went to Wyoming over Christmas break. I went there for like 14 days. It was pretty cool. We drove out there. It took us 3 days. We got to there's a good amount of snow, so you could snowmobile and ski. So it was worth the trip. So I did Christmas before. We went out there and wore all my clothes and stuff. I didn't really get anything besides clothes.
Over break, we went up north to Sheboygan, where both Mrs. Zatluski and I are from. Hung out for about 4 days and came back to the great town of Haskell.
I went to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina with my family over winter break during Christmas.
This winter, snow has been surprisingly lacking for the temperatures we've been receiving. And of course, with a lack of snow comes a lack of snow days. We asked some students for their opinions on the unusually mild seasonal behavior.
I feel that about the lack of snow, like we need more snow. Like if it's gonna be cold and we have to endure the cold, we might as well get snow with it.
It's kind of disappointing. I was really hoping for some snow, like especially during the holidays. But as soon as we come back to school, it's just a bunch of snow now. I'd want more snow days this year because I just really don't like being in school all that much.
Yeah, it'd be nice just to get like a break now and then, not expecting it. Also means I wouldn't have to go to practice, hopefully. It's always great.
Is there really a difference between Great Valley food and the real thing? Or is it only the price that's the difference? We ran a taste test on a number of Hazlitt students to see if they could tell the difference.
What am I doing? Just biting one and then biting the other?
I mean, I don't know. It tastes like dark chocolate, I guess.
Tastes like a cookie.
Mm-hmm. It definitely has more of an Oreo taste.
I'm gonna have Great Value for now. I mean, we'll see how the other one tastes.
This one is a regular Oreo. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with the one that I just ate is the Oreo, and the first one is the other one.
It definitely has more of an Oreo taste. Right amount of icing. And the icing tastes more like Oreo icing. Hey! Alright, next one.
Pretty cheesy.
I'm gonna go with these ones are the Cheez-Its. They just taste like more cheese. Dang, they taste the same.
However, from my experience, Cheez-Its have not that much flavor in it, so I'm gonna say this is original Cheez-It.
Yeah, I think this one's the real one though. They just all taste the same. The Oreos tasted exactly the same.
This one's Coke. It just has more of like a cherry flavor to it that Coke has.
Okay, that's not right. That doesn't even taste like soda.
Great Valley. They taste the same. They actually taste the same. I'm glad I didn't try it.
I'm gonna say this is the real one.
And now we'll send it over to weather, to Dalton Frank, to see if there's any snow in the weather.
Sorry to tell you, CJ, we don't got any snow in our forecast. Today, high of 30 with clouds. Tomorrow, high of 31 with some more clouds. On Sunday, high of 30 with sunshine. On Monday, high of 36 with sunshine. I recommend getting outside that day because it'll just get colder. Thursday, 27 and clouds. Back to you guys with sports.
Traditions are a big part of building a bond in a community, and over break, one such tradition took place. The Hazlitt swim team held their annual euchre tournament. We asked one captain with what this tradition is all about, and also caught up with this year's champion.
So euchre is just a little card game that we play. It's usually played in Michigan, and we just thought it was fun to do a euchre tournament right before we go into winter break. Euchre tournament has been going on for like about, I don't know, for as long as I can remember. Ever since Bob started coaching, I guess. So like 20-ish years. You know, after winning with Bob last year and then having him retire, I didn't expect much. So I got like 4th, I think. But I'll take it. It was fun.
Well, I've been playing for 6 years. Finally got to win, but it's because Dr. Robert Oliver had to retire, so that's why we finally won. I think he knocked me out every year.
I
think that happened.
Yeah, I'd been to the finals twice, I think, but I hadn't won. I'd only played. It's my 4th time. So.
Shout out to Aaron Gillenguren and Dan McFate for never winning a game, so we didn't have to play them. That was the
real
key to victory.
Real
right
MVPs.
there. Yeah, it was a good time, you know. Good to see everyone again over break, have some food, hang out.
It's a good tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Should continue.
Yep, it's a fun time. I love playing euchre. We play euchre like all the time, you know, with like friends, family, all that stuff. So
yeah, and it's fun to see you guys again. You know, we try to come back to the meets because we're in the area, but don't always get out. Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, that's all we have for this week, Vikings. We thank you for your continued viewership and support. I'm Joey Gillengerton.
And I'm CJ Gillengerton. Have a great weekend, Hazlitt.